Peace, peace. What's going on, everybody? Give everybody a chance to scroll on in before I dive into the topic for the day. Just want to do some light building today, man. Light building. Hopefully everybody's having a powerful Saturday thus far. Keeping it healthy, keeping it peaceful, keeping it powerful, keeping it productive. Peace. What's going on, D Monty Magic? How you living? Hopefully you maintain and enjoying this Saturday thus far. Peace. What's going on, Rude Boy? How you living, man? How you maintaining? Peace, O'Shane. What's going on with you? How you living? Maintaining and elevating, man. That's the way to do it. That's the way to live out here, man. Always focused on elevation. Always focused on elevation. Sasha, peace. What's going on with you, Sasha? Peace. What's going on, Montel? Yeah, we gonna do some wordplay today, man. We gonna flip an acronym. Oh yeah, it's sunny where I'm at over here too, man. It feel good. It's a nice day. But we gonna flip an acronym today. I know for the most part, a lot of us are familiar with the whole W.A.P nonsense. And y'all know I don't really too much fool with the mainstream, but you know, at any given moment where I can flip something and put that righteous spin on it, I'm gonna do it. So this is one of them opportunities. Yeah, Sasha, I was seeing that on YouTube, man. That's crazy. My condolences, man, to you and the family. My condolences, man. That's crazy. I saw that. Like, how old was she? Yeah, D Monty Magic. Yeah, the temperature kind of dropped where I'm at too, man. But hey, it's been kind of hot, but it's about that time of the year. It's about that time of the year. It's about to cool down on us. It's hoodie season, as y'all see. Got the hoodie on. It's hoodie season where I'm at, so I got the hoodies on, man. I love hoodies, so I love hoodie season. So we rocking, we good. But yeah, we gonna spin that whole W.A.P thing, man. We know what it means in regards to the mainstream version of it. But we about to put that righteous spin on it because that's what we do. That's what we do. We don't fall victim to the mainstream. We take what's in the mainstream, we put our spin on it. We flip it. Sweet Tea, what's going on? Oh yeah, Sasha, she was young, man. That's crazy. That's crazy. TZ Frank, what's going on? And y'all know how I like to just kind of start my videos before I dive into the topic. I like to deal with the mathematics for the day. So it's 19. So that's knowledge born, being born to knowledge cipher, all being born in knowledge. I mean, that's simple. Basically being mindful of what you manifest, because that sets the tone for your universal foundation. So that's the simple breakdown for the mathematics for the day. All right, Sasha, you be easy out here. Keep your head up, man. But yeah, always be mindful of what you manifest. That's the simple math, man. A simple breakdown. Be mindful of what you manifest. Be mindful of what you consume. All of those good things, man. Practice mindfulness. Practice mindfulness, man. That's crucial. But again, man, we about to break down that whole WAP thing. We about to put that righteous spin on it, letting y'all know, because I already know it. But we are prophets is the breakdown that I added to the WAP. We are prophets. And a lot of people get spooked out when the term prophet is utilized. But there is no difference between the prophets that you read about in ancient times and you. No difference at all. You possess those same abilities. And like I mentioned in the description of this video, no need to seek divine guidance when you are the divine guider. So again, we are always seeking external sources for that guidance, so-called supernatural sources for that guidance. We are the supernatural sources that we are seeking. So you are that source. You are that guider. You are that supreme being that you are seeking. You got to realize that. And when it comes to prophets, we talking about messengers and things of that nature. We talking about messengers, man. And then another thing that comes with being a prophet, being able to predict. And I already broke down how you can predict. That's mathematics. It's studying patterns. So again, we are all prophets, and being a prophet is nothing spooky. It's mathematical. You were born a prophet. You just got to activate. You got to activate that inner prophet that's within you, because it's lying dormant. Most of the power that we possess, we got to just activate it, because we have been conditioned. We have been conditioned to not know that we possess this power. So we don't believe that that power is within us. Hence why we seek outside of ourselves for this particular power when it's right there inside of you. You just got to learn to activate it. Ask yourself the right questions in order to activate it. Consume the proper information and the proper knowledge. That is how you activate that inner prophet that's within you. But that's not something that you have to seek outside of yourself for. If you want to be able to look into the future, look within. Look within yourself. If you want to be able to look into the future, man, just look within yourself. You will get all the answers that you need. So you got a lot of people, man, they be trying to go to these psychics, man. They be doing these tarot card readings, all this type of stuff, man, to get some intel in regards to like their future. Like, you don't need any of that. You don't need any of that. You don't need somebody else to tell you about your future, to tell you where you headed. You can do that for yourself. You can do that for yourself. I'm one of those individuals. I don't need anybody telling me where I'm headed. Nah, I'm gonna tell you where I'm headed. I'm gonna tell you where my life is headed. And I guarantee you, I'm gonna manifest everything that I'm telling you. So nobody knows me better than me. Nobody knows my future better than me. Why? Because I'm in tune with myself. I'm in tune with who I am. When you become in tune with yourself, you're going to have all these answers. You will possess all these answers. You will gain all these answers. You will gain all of these answers. So again, like that mind, like that subconscious mind, if you want to break it down like that, that's the messenger, man. That's the messenger giving you sign after sign after sign. You get most of them through dreams. And then if you consciously tap into that subconscious mind, then you getting all of those signs that way. But that conscious mind, that subconscious mind is giving you all the signs that you need. Now you got to act on that. So that's right there. What you looking for? You looking for those signs. You praying for these signs. Your mind giving you these signs on a daily basis. So what are you searching for exactly? What are you searching for exactly? We already know how they didn't use religion as a tool to keep us enslaved. And one of the main ways that they keep us enslaved is by us seeking outside of ourselves or searching outside of ourselves for this power. That's the main way that they got us. That's the main way that they got us, not realizing that we are the supreme beings. They don't want you to know that. It ain't about believing. It ain't nothing to believe here. This is something to know. They don't want you to know that, because that's an actual fact. They don't want you to know that, because once you know that, you're going to start operating, utilizing that highest form of intelligence. And they fear that. So they got to keep you a slave. They got to keep you passive. They got to tell you that that power exists outside of you. You would never be that powerful, even though within the books, they are letting you know that ye are all gods. They are letting you know that you possess that power. It's right there in the books. What's going on, Lachelle? Peace. These books are letting you know what you are. Like they said, you want to hide something from a black man, put it in a book. Truth is hidden in plain sight. These are some cliches. They put the stuff right in our faces. So the truth is right there in your face. So they're not concealing the truth in these books. You can read the books and the truth is still right there. You just got to read the books. You just got to read the books. I mean, we talk a lot about the Bible, but again, even within that Bible, the truth is still there. It's letting you know who you are within that Bible. They ain't hide. They didn't take it out of there. It's in there. All you got to do is read it. But that's one thing that we don't tend to do. We don't tend to do the knowledge. We don't tend to read. You read it. The truth is right there in your face, smacking you. Then, like I said, when you study ancient times and you study all these prophets, no difference between you and those prophets. It's no different. There's no difference at all. That's you. That's you. Ye are all gods. We are all prophets. Again, if you want to look into the future, man, look within. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. So we taking that righteous spin, man. We not about to flow with the mainstream in regards to what WAP means and all that type of nonsense. We not about to get in that. We're not about to cause that divide. We're not about to build on that. We're not about to build on that, because what they did, they came out with this whole WAP and that created division amongst man and woman. It's almost like it was a publicity thing, man. Came out with the whole WAP situation, and then you got the divorce and all that type of stuff going on, man. It was a lot of division that was created amongst this song, talking about don't cook and clean, still got the ring and all that type of stuff, man. See, we not about to contribute. We're not about to contribute to that. We not for that. We not about that. What's going on, Omnipotent Goldie? We not about that. We're not about that. We're not even after the materialism. So what you got a ring? What does a ring mean though? You know what I mean? You talking about in the song, you don't cook and clean, yet you still got a ring. But what does a ring mean though? We too attached to the materialism, man. We too attached to these symbols, man. We too attached to the statuses and things of that nature. But at the end of the day, what does that really mean? You can have a ring and still be getting treated like trash. So that don't necessarily mean anything. So to be reciting a lyric like that as if you bragging and boasting about it, like, is corny in and of itself. So we're not buying into that. We're not buying into that because we're not attached to the materialism, man. We're not just chasing the status, man. That's not what we after. That's not what we after, man. We building on the positives and destroying the negatives. So at the end of the day, woo, yeah, you don't cook and clean and you got a ring, but like, how is that ring getting you treated? That's how they get us, Shine. That's how they get us, Shine, most of the time with the beats, man. That's how they get us. They get you that catchy beat, that catchy hook, man, and that's how they get us, man. That's how they get us. So, like, at the end of the day, man, that ain't nothing that we ain't about to roll with that, man. We ain't about to roll with all that. Y'all know I'm underground with it, man. So we not about to roll with that, man. We ain't about to add to the divide, man. We all about we uplift, man. We empower. We do things like that. Like where the mind at, man? You want to be in tune mentally. You want to be in tune mentally. Like that's what we after. We ain't after the materialism, man. We not after the status, man. That don't necessarily mean anything, man. That don't mean anything. But we building on our power. We building on the inner power, man, that internal power that we possess, that they try to shield from us. That internal power that we possess that they try to shield from us, man, on a daily basis. They try to keep us deaf, dumb, and blind. And a lot of times they do that through the music, through the news, through these so-called reality TV shows where we know that really ain't reality, the scripted TV shows and things like that, man. So that's how they try to keep us deaf, dumb, and blind. That inner prophet that I'm talking about, man, they just got to keep it lying dormant within you. So they got to keep you deaf, dumb, and blind to the truth. And we know all the distractions that they throw out at us to keep us deaf, dumb, and blind. And they doing a good job. They doing a great job with about 85% of the population. So they doing a good job at keeping us blind to our actual truths. And then they make us cling to these religions. And even some of these spiritual systems. So I don't even rock with a lot of them. Even some of these so-called spiritual systems, man, that say I'm not spiritual, I'm religious and things. I'm not religious, I'm spiritual. Even some of those systems, man, they didn't created a religion out of that. So I don't roll with that, man. So they've given us a lot of these systems that further add to the division, further adding to keeping us deaf, dumb, and blind to our true selves. Oh, Shane, most definitely, man. You say anything negative about that song, you say anything negative in the generation that in the time or the era that we living in, you say anything. I don't even want to say negative. Like if something is, and I hate to say empowering women because I don't necessarily believe that's what that song is doing, but if something is out here and it's like a female anthem and you just disagree with it the slightest bit, then it's all bad. You a criminal. You a criminal. It's a real sensitive society that we live in today. It's a real sensitive society that we live in today. (1228) the Great. What's going on, fam? I had broke that down earlier. You got knowledge born, being born to knowledge cipher, all being born to knowledge. Basically being mindful of what you manifest because that sets the tone for your universal foundation. So that's a simple breakdown for the mathematics for the day. Yeah, Craig Smith song is garbage, man. And they get mad when you say that. You know, when you say a song written by some women or is trash, then all of a sudden it's like you attacking the whole gender. Like that's not what you're doing. Like that, I fool with, you know, Rhapsody, Cy Rock, Shay Noir. Like those are the women that I would have if I had a daughter, have her looking up to. Not none of that nonsense, man. Then you got like Narubi Salah and all this. It's plenty of other female artists that that's spitting way better than those particular women. So that song just don't do it for me. That song just don't even do it for me. But again, you say that, you liable to get attacked. You liable to get attacked. Then they want to bring up some of the songs by dudes that are vulgar and things of that nature. Some of these same songs that they end up dancing to and whatnot. But man, it's like, come on, man, y'all just assuming for one that we all listen to those songs. I'm like, man, y'all don't understand the ratio between like vulgar music and conscious music that I listen to. So they tend to make assumptions and things like that. Because one of the songs, because a lot of people was talking about, you know, when that song had came out, a lot of people was talking about the subject matter, a lot of dudes, and then a lot of the females was like, oh, but y'all was listening to 3 6 Mafia and all that type of, you know, that was their argument and all that type of stuff. As if that's supposed to make me automatically state, oh, okay, so the song is good then. Nah, like if a song is trash, it's trash, bro. Oh, Shane, that's exactly what they are talking about. Then when I bring up the respectable women that's making music out here, and I break down how I listen to them, then all of a sudden now they silent. Now they want to talk about how boring the music is and all that type of stuff because they can't understand it, because it doesn't resonate with them. So now y'all want to criticize us, and then when I say I listen to respectable music and respectable female artists, now it doesn't resonate with you. You can't relate to that. It's boring. So that's interesting. You can't relate. You can't relate to the women who are out here really like uplifting and dropping knowledge, dropping science. You can't relate to that. Like for the life of me, I don't understand. If you are a female, you listen to, and I mess around said female. Some people get offended by that. Like it's crazy the world we live in. Some people get offended when you use the word female, but whatever. But if you are a woman and you listening to Rock, the Ruby Salah Rhapsody, and you can't relate to anything they saying, I don't really understand what's going on. Like, how can you not relate to their content? I mean, how can you not relate to like just bettering yourself, man? Just elevating on a mental plane. Montel, I've been skeptical of anything that's labeled spiritual for the longest. I don't even fool with them for the most part, man, because a lot of times they be talking about some stuff that's, I don't want to call it nonsense. That's what you gravitate towards. That's what you gravitate towards. But a lot of their stuff is just baseless. Like they have not the slightest bit of evidence for some of the claims that they make. And it'd be some outrageous claims. And like Carl Sagan said, extraordinary claims requires extraordinary evidence. So if you don't have the extraordinary evidence to back up your extraordinary claim, then I can't really rock with what you're saying. So I'm going to need extraordinary evidence when you making bold claims. And a lot of times they do not have that. They get mad. So a lot of times my experience with a lot of people that say they spiritual and not religious, like they get upset when you start asking them questions. The same way that they accuse the religious people of doing. They get upset. And the conversation it ends up ending on a bad note because they don't really want to they're not too welcoming when it comes to those questions. All shined out, like I said, it's a few women out here that got some decent content. I named 3 of them. Then you got Ruby Salah. Like she pretty dope with it. But those are like the top 4. Jean Grey is another one. Like Jean Grey might be the goat of them, man. But Jean Grey is dope. Oh yeah, Montel, most definitely. Yeah, some of the youth are being awakened. Some of them. Yeah, Jill Scott is dope. I was focusing on the MCs, but yeah, Jill Scott most definitely is dope. And I got hip to some new ones, some new artists. Well, new artists for me. Like Ja9. I don't know if y'all ever heard of her. Ja9, JAH9. Like she pretty dope. But Ja9, that's another good one. But I don't know if y'all heard of her, but Ja9, y'all can check her out. She got some nice music. Yeah, the Brat, that's old school with it. Yeah, that's old school. Yeah, O'Shane, I figured you knew about Ja9, but yeah, Ja9 is dope. I just got hip to her. So I was like, all right, I can rock with it. Yeah, Montel, you name it. Yeah. I rock with everybody you name it. Okay, so John 9 is known out here, so that's cool. See, I like that. But according to a lot of women, us men, we don't listen to those female artists because they claim, this is the claim. And me having a business degree and whatnot, I don't like this claim. A lot of people have said if we listened to the so-called conscious female artists more, then they would get more mainstream exposure. I mean, come on, man. Y'all got to think about what you just said. Talking about if we listen to these conscious female artists more, they will get more mainstream exposure. Do we understand who controls the mainstream? So for people to say that, that lets me know how blind they really are to the actual truth. It doesn't matter how many of us fool with a Cyrock or a Jah 9. They not about to get that mainstream exposure because who controls the mainstream? Who controls the mainstream? They not about to let the masses, they not about to let that type of content get exposed to the masses consistently. They may let one or two of them in. But they not about to let all of them in, no matter how much we listen to them and promote them. That's not how it works. So for the people to say that and act like it's just that simple, all we got to do is listen to them more. Like, nah, trust me. The female artists that I name, they get a lot of support. They get a lot of love. They get a lot of streams, a lot of listens. And then we got to understand the money that's behind some of these mainstream artists. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money behind them. And the person with the most money wins. So when you got these independent artists, they don't have billions and millions of dollars behind their content. And that's just point blank, period. They don't have millions of dollars to spend behind their marketing. But when you get to the Cardi B's, they have machines behind them. They can put millions and billions of dollars behind their advertising. A Cyrock cannot do that. So by default, she will have less exposure than a Cardi B, simply because Cardi B and them, they have the most money. And then let alone with the type of music that they putting out. That is what they want us to hear anyway. So that goes hand in hand with it. So it's really not that simple, man. We can sit here and promote those conscious sisters all day. That don't necessarily mean they're going to get the mainstream exposure that they deserve, because it's the powers that be, as we like to call them. It's the powers that be. They're going to stop that. They're going to stop it. They're going to stop it. Even if it unexpectedly happened, like even if we just so happen like one day to make something that she put out viral, trust me, it won't last that long. It won't last that long. If we took one of these conscious sisters, man, and we just kept sharing their stuff to the point where something they put out went viral, trust me, something will happen to offset it. Something will happen to offset it. They don't want the world getting hip to any conscious sister, just like they don't want the world getting hip to any conscious brother out here. Like Dead Prez, like Dead Prez should have been way bigger than what they were. Dead Prez should have been way bigger than what they were. Especially considering what's going on now, man. Dead Prez been talking about that since the 2000s, man. Late 90s type deal. Should have been way bigger than what they were. But they not, though. We know why. We know why. So we already know, we know what's going on, man. We know that it ain't that simple, man. These conscious sisters, they get a lot of love, and they get a lot of love from brothers. The thing that I've come to realize is when it comes to these conscious sisters, those sisters do not get a lot of support from other women. That's what that is. That's what that is. That some of the female artists that I named, the Rhapsodies, the Cyrocks, the Shay Noirs, Jean Grey, their main fan base are men, are dudes. We support them. The women don't support the respectable sisters, man. How many sisters do you know out here bumping Cyrock? But I can tell, man, every person that I see share a lot of her content on my end is dudes. Thunder Scorpion, what's going on? Yeah, they control the music mainstream most definitely. Yeah, Craig Smith and it's crazy. So they get on us about the content that we listen to. But for the most part, when it comes to the conscious sisters, men are their biggest fans. So how they gonna sit out here and say we don't listen to that type of music and this, that, and the third? Like we are the supporters of them. I guarantee you, man, I don't know the stats behind it, but I guarantee you, if you looked up Cyrock's fan base, most of them gonna be dudes. So it's the women out here that's not supporting the women that's out here trying to empower them, man. That's what's crazy. Because they not doing it in a vulgar manner. So that's something that I found that's interesting. That's something that I have found that's interesting, man. When it comes to the conscious music, when it comes to the music with a message, for the most part, a lot of women don't listen to these artists. So they want to talk about balance, like we got the balance. Do they have the balance, man? Like, all right, if you finna listen to that Cardi B, offset it with some Rhapsody or something like that. Doesn't happen like that. Doesn't happen like that. So we need to dive into the science as to why it feels as if when it comes to conscious music, a lot of black women don't support it. Not saying that there are not black women that don't support it, because trust me, there's plenty of them that's out here. But for the most part, you're not coming across that. Down to see what's going on. But like I said, I love the sisters that's out here kicking that knowledge, man, on the mic, man. That stuff is nice to see, man. Especially when they able to just hold their own amongst the the male MCs and things like that. Like I said, I take Rhapsody and Cyrock them over a lot of dudes. So I don't separate them and call them like female MCs. Like, nah, they just MCs, period. Like they can hold their own with the best of the best, male or female. So it don't matter. Like I didn't put a lot of people on some of the conscious sisters that's out here dropping that knowledge. I didn't put a lot of people on them. So I agree with the people that say we can afford to promote them a little bit more, because that's our duty. When we come across that content, when we come across that type of music, man, share it, put it out. Don't sit on it. Let the world know about it. Thunder Scorpion, I most definitely can believe that. 1228 the Great, man. Like I said, I might come out of retirement. I might come out. My homeboy just sent me like 5 beats or whatever, and he wants to do like an EP. So I might come out, man. I got a lot to say. And I used to get down in the studio, man. I used to get down in that studio. I got the venting, but again, you know how that go. There's some of the stuff that I was talking about to get you banned, man, to get you assassinated. But I do want to get some of that stuff off my chest, though. And I'm better able to express myself when it comes to like music, write poetry and stuff like that when it comes to that particular content. So I definitely may come out to do, because I wouldn't have did it if my homeboy wasn't good at what he does. Like, that's the only person that I come out of retirement for, man, because dude is actually pretty skilled with the pen, man. So I can do something with him, and I feel like it'll be decent as far as the quality goes and the content. We be on the same type of vibe. 1228 the Great, most definitely, man. We might have to connect then. Appreciate that, Sean, man. But first and foremost, I know the first thing I'm working on dropping is this book, though. So once I get this book complete, then I may consider jumping into that. Man, I retired because I just had other stuff I wanted to focus on, man. And like I said, my content, man, I didn't know if I really wanted that type of pressure on me, man, because of the stuff that I was talking about at that particular point in time. So I just was like, all right, man, I'm gonna just chill out and I'm gonna focus on some other stuff, man, because I was telling you, man, my content was heavy as far as like going in on the system and stuff like that. Like I was going in, so I was just like, at that point, man, I was getting those threats and all that type of stuff from those Freemason type pages where they got the Masonic symbol, but they had like 0 friends. Like a lot of those pages were in my inbox threatening me, saying I need to watch what I'm talking about, rapping about, and all that good stuff. So I was like, I'm gonna move under the radar, man. So I'm gonna take a break on it. But I'm more so focused on getting these books out. But I might drop a little something though, man. I definitely got some stuff I can get off my chest though. So I'm going to record something, but it's a matter of like staying consistent with it. But I'm definitely going to record some stuff. That's going to happen because I got some stuff I need to say. And I feel like saying it to a beat, the best way for me to say it. Oh yeah, all that stuff is used as a weapon against us, Stanley. All of it. Thunder Scorpion, definitely send me that. Send me that. 1228 the Great. I appreciate it, man. Like I said, man, it's some heavy stuff, man. I got to talk about a lot of stuff. But we used to get down in it, man. I'm talking about I go back to when we was doing stuff in my mama basement type deal, man. Like I just had to take a break from it. It was one of those things, man. It was getting a little overwhelming. Because we know, like I said, you know how I go, man. When you start speaking a certain language, utilizing certain keywords, they're gonna be on your head. And I was getting some of that heat, getting some of that pressure. Oh, Jemima, you already know anything Nas and dropped. You already know I heard it. So yeah, most definitely I'd have heard that joint. And I rock with it. Don't surprise me that they took it off YouTube, man. That's why, and I'm like, I'm trying to make that's one of the reasons why it took me so long to get on YouTube. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. One of the reasons why it took me a minute to get on YouTube is because I was just like, what's the point? Once I really start venting on YouTube, it's the channel gonna get banned anyway. Once I really start saying what I want to say. So that's one of the reasons why I could have been on YouTube years ago. I'm talking about because I was on Ustream. I was streaming when Ustream was a thing. So I already been hip to streaming. But it was just like, man, when everybody was telling me to get on YouTube, I'm like, man, yo, what's the point? Because I saw the future then. Got to look 5 to 10 years ahead. So I was seeing it even when all the content was still on YouTube. I was like, man, in a minute, because they had always been talking about regulating the internet. So this was big like 10 years ago. They was talking about it 10 years ago, how certain content, it's not going to be able to stay on the web if it's like anti-government, anti-system. They consider that hate speech and all that type of stuff. So they was talking about this way before they actually started doing it. So I was just like, man, there's no point on me. It's no point of me getting on YouTube when my content is anti everything that they stand for. So I was like, it makes no sense for me to do it. I just have to stick to the platforms that I'm already on. Because once I start really venting and saying what I need to say, and this is the way that they get somebody like me, they'll let me get on a platform. They'll let me build it up to a certain point. Then they shut it down. So it's like they'll let you build up that momentum. Then they try to kill your momentum. But now I got plans for that. See, I know how to create websites and all that type of stuff now. So I can direct people to something else. But back then I wasn't on that. So I was like, man, it ain't no point for me to get up on here, start talking my stuff, and then for them to just ban me. Then all of a sudden, all that work I put in, now you can't find my videos and all that type of stuff. So that's one of the main reasons why I've been hesitant to like get on YouTube, because I know where I'm gonna end up going with it. I know where I'm gonna end up going with it. And it's not gonna be I don't want to say user friendly, but it's not gonna be system friendly content. And I mean, I'm just keeping honest with you. Like I'm not a system friendly person, because this system ain't never been friendly to me. It's never been friendly to you. So I'm not friendly to this system. Lindell, most definitely. Music definitely turned me into the prophet. And Poor Righteous Teachers are one of my favorite. Them and Brand Nubian and X-Clan, all of what you name. Some of my favorite groups. Boogie Down, man. BDP, KRS-One, Rakim, Big Daddy Kane, man. They was the ones hit me to the knowledge of self, like AZ. All these type of, man, these people was giving me that knowledge of self. I got it through music first. Amber, what's going on? Peace. 12, 28. Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, that's gonna be one of my outlets to reach people. It's all about diversifying. It's like income. You always want to strive to have multiple streams of income. So when you putting out a message, you always want to have multiple like lanes in which you can put the message out. So you want to have multiple streams that you on in regards to disseminating that information and get that message out. So you got to treat it just like income. Always strive to have multiple streams of income. You want to do your message the same way because we know how they get down. Don't put all your eggs in one basket because we know how they're going to get down. That's why I said my end goal is to get out here in the physical. So that's how I'm gonna surpass all of this nonsense that I know will end up coming my way once I really start building on what I want to build on. I'm gonna get out to the physical. I'm gonna start building with people in the physical. That's the end goal. Like that's my main goal, to physically get out here and start building with the people, hosting my own events and things like that. Yeah, man, I ain't gonna lie, they be some of the stuff that they even be recommending to me. I'm like, man, what? Yeah, Sean, most definitely. Most definitely. Yeah, but like I said, man, I'm not the most system friendliest person. So when I really get to venting, man, as y'all have seen sometimes, like I start going in because I've had a lot of experiences with this said system, man, that didn't work in my favor, as I'm sure you all may have had. And that's why I have the perspective that I have. And a lot of the information that was hidden from us, like a lot of the information that was hidden from us, I'm the type of person that wants to bring that information to light. So again, they don't like that. But it is what it is. I can't sit on this information. I can't sit on this information. I mean, I got to get my Professor Griff on at times. And that's another person that contributed to my awakening, man. I was listening to a lot of Professor Griff back in the day, man. I even got some of his books. That's who helped me to a lot of this industry nonsense. Professor Griff, man, that's when I started getting hip to like Hollywood, mainstream music and all that. I got to thank Professor Griff for that, man, because through his book, he recommended a lot of other books to start studying in regards to getting hip to like Masonic symbols and all that, man. I mean, that stuff got deep. That stuff had got deep for a minute. Cynthia Wisdom Seeker, what's going on? Peace. Yeah, they don't want people to know the truth at all. Like at all. At all. To the point where, like I said, even my man Farrakhan, man, I love to watch Farrakhan speeches, man. You can't find a lot of his speeches online, man. You can't find a lot of his speeches. And then don't even get me started on some of my other ancestors that I like to watch. You can't find a lot of their speeches online, man. I remember back in the day, 10 years ago on YouTube, man, I used to be able to watch all that. Farrakhan, Khalid Muhammad, Steve Coakley, Amos Wilson, man, just all these dudes, man. I'm able to just watch speech after speech after speech. Man, you can barely find some of these speeches now. Whatever happened to freedom of speech? We already know how that go. Yeah, Donna C. They definitely want to keep the minds preoccupied. They do that a lot of ways. They distract us via like the media. Then they feed us, they encourage us to eat these garbage foods, which that preoccupies the mind. Beast Reincarnated, yeah, man, I had like a little short day at the gym today, so I said, let me get on here early and start building. But Saturdays, I try to go on a little earlier than normal. But yeah, whatever happened to freedom of speech, freedom of press, and all that type of stuff, freedom of press and religion, like we supposed to be able to, we know why we can't though, but it's written right there in the law. We supposed to be able to say to freely express ourselves without getting banned and that type of stuff, man. We supposed to be able to do that in this good old here country, but obviously we can't do that. It's freedom of speech up until you say something that goes against this system. Then it's time to silence you. It's freedom of press and religion up until the point where your way of life clashes with their way of life or the way of life that they want you to live. Then it's time to shut you down real quick. So all that freedom goes out the window. That freedom doesn't apply to us. And I try to tell people that all the time. So like that's the illusion. We think that this is the land of the free when obviously it's not. So they got us, man. It's an illusion. Yeah, audio TV, that most definitely happens. And then even on the vice versa tip, man. So a lot of that be going on. Oh, Shonda, I used to fool with Brother Polite, Seti, all of them, Shaka Amos. I used to watch all the side of the TV and stuff like that, man. Audio TV, nah, I'm not really big into Young Pharaoh, man. Not at all. I don't really too much care for like that brother's energy and vibe and all that type of stuff, man. I ain't really, and then some of the stuff that he teaches, like that goes against everything that I teach and my culture. So I don't really fool with the young boy. I mean, he can do what he do. I'm not gonna throw no shots or anything at him, man. I just don't fool with watching him like that. James Brown, what's going on? Peace. Thunder Scorpion. I got like my cousin is a Mason, so I got Masons in my like my aunt. She is even what is it Eastern Star or something. She like the female version of the Masons. Like my aunt, one of my closest aunts, she's part of that secret society type deal. So I got people in my family that's all up in it. Yep, Dynasty, most definitely. It's freedom of speech. Like I said, up until the point you say something that they don't like, then all of a sudden it's time to shut you up and silence you. But man, I honestly had thought I was dreaming one day, man. When I got on YouTube and I swear I started looking up all type of speeches that I used to watch, man, I couldn't find nothing. And I was just like, man, maybe I'm just tripping. But man, that stuff is really not on YouTube. Like I did this some months ago, man. I just started looking up old speeches, man. I was in that mood. I wanted to watch all old speeches that I used to watch, man. Couldn't find, like I found like one or two. I was like, whoa, this is crazy. They really doing this to these videos? Oh, crazy, man. I know some Masons just like that. Yeah, Farrakhan, my man's man. I used to listen to, obviously, I'm not with the NOI band, but hey, brother be dropping some jewels, and then the way that he, presents himself and things like that, man. So I just watch him just to see how you need to conduct yourself in regards to public speaking. So man, that's a man I look up to in regards to that, because that's something that I aspire to do, and he does it well. Yeah, old Shane, like I said, it's an illusion. When they constructed all of that, they didn't construct it with us in mind. Like we were not peoples. We were not people to them. 3/5 of a human being is what we were to them. So the laws didn't apply to us. Still don't really apply to us. And we be acting surprised. Like, nah, that stuff really don't apply to us. We was 3/5 of a human being to them. Oh man, he became a Mason on you. I can just imagine how that relationship went from there. Sean most definitely is for that's what I was just talking about. It's for them, not us. Oh, Lindell, yeah. Khalid Muhammad is my favorite of all time. Like, Khalid Muhammad is my dude. That was like, I was listening to a lot of Khalid Muhammad, and you can barely find a lot of his stuff. But Khalid Muhammad was my man. Steve Coakley was another underrated brother. Steve Coakley and Amos Wilson, underrated. But Steve Coakley, if you really want to dive deep into like the mainstream and all that, man, Steve Coakley is that dude. Is that dude. Or was that dude? 1228 the Great, yeah, polite, yeah. Yeah, polite was man, I was rocking with him, man. When I had first was watching these videos, man, he just started rubbing me the wrong way. So I was like, shoot. Yeah, so I had got off polite for a minute, man. But then I just try to take the best parts of what everybody talks about. So it was some things from polite that I can take, but man, his demeanor, man, his personality just started rubbing me the wrong way. And sometimes I have a hard time separating that personality from the message sometimes, man. So it was just like, when you start rubbing me the wrong way like that, man, I just stopped tuning in to you. I stopped tapping into you. Thunder Scorpion, I used to watch all them debates. I think I watched every one. Bobby Hemmett. Oh, you already know Jamani. I used Bobby Hemmett, Phil Valentine. Man, I used to be Bobby Hemmett and Phil Valentine. I used to be on all that. Bobby Hemmett is hilarious. That's a funny dude. Yeah, the Eastern Star. Yep, that was my aunt, Eastern Star. So I know all about it. And yeah, Jamani, a lot of people rock with Young Pharaoh. Then just recently, this what just got me with Young Pharaoh, man, because of course the stuff be popping up on my timeline, man, because a lot of people, a lot of people share the stuff, man. But the dude made a video randomly, man. He was going in on the, what is that dude? What the young bull name? NLE Chopper or something like that. Dude had recently been talking about meditation and all that type of stuff, man, vibes and frequencies. And this dude, Young Pharaoh, that made a video pretty much going in on the dude, talking about he's stealing his content and all that type of stuff. And I'm like, dang, man, this little dude, I mean, my goodness, man, we all got influence for some. So this dude, Young Pharaoh, act like he the only one that's out here talking about that type of information. So that rubbed me the wrong way. I'm like, every time I see something from this young dude, I don't like it. And that was one of them that was one of them scenarios, man. I mean, the young bull out here talking about meditation. He could be talking about anything else. He could be talking about being destructive. This little dude, this young bull changing his life at 17, man. You supposed to be the OG to that. I don't care if he got that information from you, man. He using it to better himself. Be happy, man. You had to get that information from somewhere. You didn't just create this information. You got sources, man. You got research that you had to do. The whole point of you disseminating this information is for you to inspire people. So don't bash them when they do the same thing. What it is his ego. So he know that this dude got a large following. So then when this dude starts spitting out his information, encouraging his people, he felt some type of way. He needed credit. Well, if the everyday average person would have did the same thing, it would have took Young Pharaoh's so-called information and used it. He wouldn't have thought none of it. But since it was a dude with a large fan base, then that ego plays in the part. Man, I don't care who I encourage. Take my information, utilize it to better yourself, and teach your people what you learn from me. I'm cool with it, man. That's the reason why I'm teaching it in the first place. Each one teach one type deal, man. So I'm not mad at anybody for doing that, man. That's the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing, to inspire people. So if I inspire one person that can inspire millions, then I did my job. I'm cool. I'm satisfied with it. I don't need the pat on the back, man. That energy gonna come back to me. I don't need to beg for it, man. So when young dude did that, I had a problem, man. That was corny, dude. That was corny. Oh yeah, Jamani, Dr. York, you already know, man. Everybody y'all gonna name, y'all already know I know him. Dr. York, definitely know Dr. York. I'm friends with a few of them on Facebook, W.A.Pians and whatnot. Oh yeah, 1228 the Great. That's how I used to be, man. Again, y'all already know my culture for the most part, but I used to watch a lot of that. Now I pretty much just take the best part. If I decide to, watch some certain pieces of content, I'm gonna just take the best part from it. Yeah, it's still some of them videos out here, but a lot of them are really not. Like a lot of them not even in that rabbit hole, yo. Like some videos are legit gone. Thunder Scorpion, I'm gonna do you one better. And I'm not saying that you, when you use certain language, I'm not saying that you're not righteous. But when it comes to like a lot of these spiritual people, man, they can't even control their language. They can't even control their language, but yet they want to talk about vibrations and stuff like that. When words carry certain vibrations, man, you can't even control your language. You utilizing words that have a negative vibration to them. And yet you are the main one talking about vibrations and vibes and things of that nature and frequencies. Yet you are operating on that lower frequency when you cannot elevate your language. So that's like with the Buddhists when they talk about right speech. So a lot of these brothers, they call themselves spiritual, but they can't even master that. Simple. I'm gonna ask y'all a simple question. How many times do y'all hear me curse on my live stream? Utilize a curse word. You don't hear it. Because I don't need to utilize that language to convey my point. That's control. That's discipline. Like I can speak without utilizing that language. It's easy. That's self-control. And I'm not saying that's making me better than anybody, but what I'm saying is If we about to be talking like that, then we got to master aspects of our lives, and we got to demonstrate that control and that discipline. I demonstrate that discipline and control. I'm gonna conduct myself. I'm gonna talk to y'all as if I had to go into a boardroom meeting with all white people. I'm not about to be using profanity, talking to them. So why would I do y'all like that? Why would I get on here and just start cursing y'all out? If I had to go into a room with all white people, I'm not about to be using vulgar language. I'm not about to be using profanity. I'm a so-called clean up that language. So y'all deserve that same respect. I'm gonna give y'all that same respect. And I feel like we should all operate. We should all operate like that. Yeah, O'Shane, we was definitely just giving up religion. Yeah, Thunder Scorpion. Yeah, they was fascinated with us. We 3/5 of a human, yet they fascinated with us. But we already know how that go. We already know how that go. They fascinated with us. They know our true power. We just don't. And that's one of the ways that they keep that true power from us. They're gonna put that type of stuff in the books. We only 3/5 of a human and all that type of stuff. They already know what it is. They're really 3/5 of a human. John Dow, what's the question? Trade and war stories. What's going on? Audio TV, man. Man. Woo, Umar, man. When I first was watching these videos, man, I used to like a lot when he talks about the black boys and the stuff like that, man. I'm cool. A lot of that stuff accurate. But man, when he get on these rants about donating to his school, man, and just his whole approach and his vibe and his energy, that man, I can't rock with it. Like when he was talking about the grit money, like, man, come on, bro. Matter of fact, speaking of that, man, did y'all give him some of y'all grit money? Yeah, Craig Smith, I'm good. I'm good on the young boy, man. I don't like to talk bad about, you know what I'm saying, especially the people that's underneath me. I don't like to do that, man. But I've never really gravitated towards dude at all. Yeah, audio TV. That's what I'm saying. He said the brother stole his content, but it's like, man, at the end of the day, where did you get the content from? Like it's more so being influenced. Like I get it, man, but if the everyday average person would have took his content, dude wouldn't have thought nothing of it. He would have been he would have felt good about that. But since it was somebody that got a large following, that's when the ego comes into play. Now you want credit. You want him to shout you out to his large following so you can get more. So it's ego. It's ego, yo. Yeah, Dr. Quasi. Yeah, I rock with him a lot. I rock with him a lot. I remember that too. Lindell, I definitely remember that. And it definitely happened. Sean, nope, you wasn't bugging. Jemani, oh yeah, I got plenty of books on ancient Egypt, on Kemet. Muatai Ashby is like one of my favorite authors in regards to like knowledge on Kemet. When We Ruled, that's a man, that book is like 700 pages, but that's a powerful book. And it's not, and again, what happened was we tend to focus on like Kemet. But man, you can focus on the motherland as a whole. And When We Ruled is one of those books. Man, God, Civilization. That's a powerful book. And then Dr. Ben, he got a lot of good books on Kemet too, and just Africa in general. Black Man of the Nile, that's a good one. America don't practice what they preach at all. Matter of fact, that's the problem. Preaching. The word preach, for the most part, when people out there preaching, it's a lie. Audio TV is all about ego, man. Most of these it's all about ego, and that be the vibe that I be getting, and that's why I don't be tapping in and tuning in to a lot of these dudes, man. It's all ego. It's all ego. That's like if I start seeing people talk about veganism and then I get into my feelings, like, nah, if I feel like I inspired that, I'm cool. Because again, man, if you again and this goes back to some of the stuff that they supposed to be subscribing to and believing in. So if you dealing with energy, man, and you dealing with the spiritual system, then you know and understand that all that good is gonna come back to you. So why are you tripping off of credit? Why you want props? Why do you want props and credit, man? You know that stuff gonna come back to you if you just do your duty. So I'm good if I see brothers all of a sudden talk about veganism that I know weren't talking about it before, and they saying some of the same stuff I was saying. I'm cool with it, man. At the end of the day, if they have bad intentions behind my content, then that's gonna come back. That's gonna harm them. I'm still gonna be me either way, because you can't deliver it how I can deliver it in and of itself. And then the people that rock with me still gonna continue to rock with me. So I'm cool. I don't need dude to be giving me props. I don't need to be out here saying, nah, man, wasn't nobody talking about veganism before I started talking about veganism. Like, no, man, it was people out here talking about veganism before I started talking about veganism. I didn't originate or create the term veganism. Yeah, Donna, see, I mean, I think that brother's ego problem is like the worst that I've seen, actually. Like, that ego problem is, his ego problem is crazy. That's why I never tap into it, man. Like, you almost couldn't tell that brother nothing. And then when you bashing another young bull, man, that did the same thing you did, man. Like, that's when I got a problem with it, man, because at some point you was that young bull that came across knowledge, and you didn't come across that knowledge just by waking up one day, man. You had to do research. You were influenced and inspired by something outside of you, man. So it's like, dude, like, we all got that inspiration from something. We all got that knowledge from something. That's why I don't have no problem showing y'all my sources. Like, all right, look, I didn't come up with that. Here's the book where I got it from. Boom. That's why I had no problem doing that. I give credit to where I get my information from all the time, letting y'all know that I didn't create this content. I didn't create this information. I got it from here. Read this. This is where I got that stance from. This is where I got the study from. Oh, no, Sean, trust me. You definitely not bugging. Yeah, that's why I try to tell people, man, people can't master the basic elements of self, but then want to try to teach other people how to do it, man. Come on, you got to master basic elements of self. If you don't have that self-discipline, self-control, how you out here supposed to be teaching other people to have it? That don't even make any sense, man. You got to exercise some form of control over your life. Where are you exercising that control, man? If you can't control how you speaking, you can't control how you thinking, you know what I mean? Like, what, you can't control this ego, you can't keep the ego in check. Then what are you actually teaching? I more so like to lead by example. So they say be the change that you want to see. Like, that's how I live. Sean Steve, most definitely. And matter of fact, I'm gonna give you one better, man, because that just ain't my type of vibe. I'm not saying I had cleanest language. Yeah, I listen to music that's vulgar, but it's just like when I conduct business, I always look at it from a business angle, and I look at this like a business. When I'm in a business setting, I don't use that type of language, yo. So this is business. This is business to me. So I don't use that type of language. I even had a new client come in. She met me at my spot yesterday at my gym. And that was one of the first things she said. She basically picked up on my vibe and energy. She said, I don't feel like you one of those trainers that be yelling and cursing out their clients. And I don't like that. And I don't feel like you that type of person. This was like 2 minutes after having a conversation with me. And I said, man, most definitely. I'm definitely not that individual. I'm not about to scream and yell at you, because that's not really necessary. It's some people that they may need that, but those people are not for me, because I'm not about to holler at you in order for you to do these mountain climbers and do these burpees. Not about to holler at you, not about to do that, because that's draining in and of itself. I'm exerting too much energy to get you amped. I don't need to do that. 1228, the most challenging experience with going from corporate situation to owning my own business. Man, that's a good question. That's a good question. I would say the most challenging experience is just the building up the business aspect, man. Just making sure I'm having the proper amount of clients and whatnot, man. Just doing the marketing, just grinding, because especially in my line of work, is fitness. So you're gonna come across a lot of unreliable people. A lot of people that say that they want to get in shape, want to train, may even pay you for it, but then don't show up. So you be counting on that money, and then these people are inconsistent. So you losing out on that money. So that'll probably be the most challenging experience, man, dealing with flaky and inconsistent people. Getting you all amped up, and then you factor that into the equation, the financial equation. Like, all right, I'm finna make this, I'm finna make that because I got such and such and such and such. And then you never hear from them again. So that happens, especially in my line of work. So that's probably the most challenging part, man, just dealing with inconsistent people. The Air One, what's going on with you? Oh, Zucko, you done missed so much. I don't even know where to start. I don't even know where to start. Oh, Shane, most definitely, man. If the information can't be shared, then what's the point of the information? Zucko, I've heard that. As far as the Garden of Eden being South America, I've heard that. Lindell, most definitely, man. That's why when people tell me, that's when people say, I always correct them. When people say preach to me, I correct them. I say I don't preach, I teach. It's a difference. It's a difference. I don't preach. I don't do any of that. I teach. So I correct people all the time when they be like, preach. I like, nah, we don't do the preaching. We teach. The difference there. Almost definitely, Dier. Like, they keep a lot of stuff, and some of the stuff they don't even keep it private. Like they say, the truth is hidden in plain sight. So they put a lot of the truth right smack dab in your face. Jemani, yeah, I used to study the Anunnaki back in the day. Oh, Thunder Scorpion, most definitely. Most definitely. That's why I say always be mindful of who you share things with. That's why when it comes to a lot of like business endeavors, or when I get ideas for like books, I keep them to myself. The information that you don't want people to like take and run with, you keep that concealed. But when you get on YouTube and you putting out all this information, like, what are you putting that information out here for? You putting that information out here for people to watch it. So people are going to utilize some of that information. It's just going to happen. It's going to happen. So when you start getting on public platforms and you putting out this information, you expressing your idea, like, people going to take it. It's going to inspire some people. People going to take them. That's going to happen. So the information that I don't want people to take, like, I sit on it. Like when I get an idea, like a business idea, business name or something like that, slogan, something that I don't want people to take, I don't put it out there until I manifest the actual product, the service, or whatever it is. Yeah, audio TV, and that was in the Willie Lynch letter. The Willie Lynch letter talked about the old heads going against the young heads, basically. So the Willie Lynch letter got a lot of that in it. Dynasty, I think my thing with it though, for one, I feel like the brother made an assumption in regards to dude stealing that information from him. And it's a lot of things that he has said. Like, not everybody actually quotes everything that they say, especially when we know that it was inspired by somebody other than yourself. So it was one of those situations where it's a young brother, man, that obviously maybe searching the web, man, coming across a lot of information, and this information that's being utilized to help him. And it's real simple stuff like meditation. I mean, I like when it comes to stuff like meditation and you talking about frequencies and things like that, man, that's common knowledge. So with something like that, I don't necessarily even need for you to even cite a source on that, because a lot of people talk about meditation and frequencies and stuff like that, man. I mean, that's just a lot of people talk about that. Even the dude that was in one of his videos where he was talking about meditation, talked about how he meditates, and he was talking about hertz and frequencies. But yeah, I didn't see dude coming at the person that was in the video talking about meditation, saying that he stole it from him. It was only this brother, because this brother has a large following. So, I mean, like I said, at the end of the day, I'm cool with it. I mean, you can cite me, you cannot cite me. At the end of the day, if you have good intentions behind what you're doing, I'm cool with it. Just like I have good intentions behind putting out my information, that good gonna come back to me. So I'm not stressing the fact, because I know I understand the mathematical law. Not everybody's gonna put in the work that I put in. It's only gonna be a small percentage of us that are willing to put in that work. So those that are willing to put in that work, as the lessons I got state, it's our duty to teach the uncivilized. So we supposed to wake them up, so they're gonna be inspired by a lot of us. So it is what it is, man. As long as he taking that information, the NLE chop or whatever his name is, if he taking that information and he utilizing it to empower himself and uplift his people, I'm cool with it. He gonna get to a point where he start letting people know where he get his information from. But just even that information, I mean, it's easy to find some of the stuff that he was talking about. But I'm cool with it, man. The brother is, I'm cool with the young brother, man, uplifting himself, uplifting his followers, his people, all that good stuff. To put out a video, man, basically bashing the dude, man, cursing him out and stuff like that, man, that was childish. I mean, if you feel like somebody took your work, man, you ain't got to make a whole 2-hour video cursing the dude out, bro. Like that was childish. Like, we got to stop doing that, man. That's stuff that they love to see. They love to see us go at it like that, especially over some childish. We don't own that. None of us own that information. So, you know what I mean? Just politely inbox the brother or try to get in contact with that brother's team and just be like, all right, man, you know, I feel like you took this content from me. Talk to me. Like, where did you get your sources from? Where did you get this information from? Then teach him something. If he left out something, educate the brother. You know, just do it like that, man. It's an approach. But now you causing further divide once you approach it like that with all that hostility. That was really unnecessary, because somebody could have approached you that same way. Because again, you got the knowledge from somewhere. Beast reincarnated. Everything is, listen, everything energy, the universe is mental. Like those are some philosophies that I live by. I really just, universe is mental. And that's, once I understood that, once I set on that, I was good to roll. When I realized everything is mental, I'm good to roll. I'm good to roll. At this point, you can't stop me, because I know and understand that everything is mental. It all starts in the mind. It all starts with the thought. Once I understood that reality, that's almost like the only reality that I need. That's like the only philosophy that I need. Self, if you're trying to gain weight, going on a vegan diet, so it's like, I don't know how many calories you tend to consume on a daily basis, but you probably want to increase it by 500. And then you can, I mean, it's a lot of plant-based foods that you can consume if you want to try to gain that weight, man. I don't know if you can fool with peanut butter, but if not, you got sunflower butter, you got almond butter, consume a lot of that. Hemp seeds, consume a lot of that. Your beans, man, consume the black beans, the kidney beans, chickpeas, red beans, all that good stuff, man. Consume a lot of that. So you want to try to get your calories up. You want to start by increasing them by 500. So if you normally consume 1,500 calories a day, go up to 2,000. And then you should start gaining from there. And then once you hit that wall there, then you may have to increase the calories again. Yeah, the OGs and the old heads, man. I learned a lot from the OGs. Oh, Dynasty, yeah, that meditation routine crucial. Mine is simple because I do affirmation. So I recorded my little voice memo, my little affirmation on my phone, and I had to get this little voice memo app or whatever that allowed me to replay it. So I recorded this affirmation, man. I just throw on some headphones, or if you got like a sound bar or something, man, I just get into that I just zone out to that affirmation on repeat. And I swear to you, every time I do that, some powerful things happen. Like I get more clients, like just some good things happen when I sit with that affirmation. And I do it for like 10, 15 minutes. Try to do it first thing in the morning. Shine down most definitely. That's the golden rule, they say. James Brown, is there something that I want to study but I can't? Nah, I don't think I have anything like that, man. I study life around me. I can study any and everything. It's certain things that, well, you said want to study. Yeah, I can study everything that I want to study. And that's what I do. That's why I don't place no limitations on my mind and on myself. If I want to learn about it, I study it. So it's really that simple. There's nothing I can't study. Yeah, Donna, see that video rubbed me the wrong way. Like that just rubbed me the wrong way. I just felt like that was a horrible approach, and that was just big ego, and I just and that just ain't how I operate. So I really just can't rock with it. But I don't rock. You know, this one thing I get a lot of women like talk about how they don't hang out with other women, man. But it's just on the dude end, man. When you get around a lot of dudes, that ego. A lot of dudes start hating on you and all that type of stuff, man. So I done had those type of experiences in my life, man, to the point where I got to keep my circle of other men that I hang around with small, because they tend to get jealous. They tend to get envious. They tend to hate on you and all type of stuff, man. I'm more so over, bro. I'm going to give you props. I'm going to look out for you. I'm going to empower you. I'm going to uplift. I'm going to do all that positive stuff. That's how I roll. Because I done had plenty of people. Long story short, I had plenty of people steal my, like on Facebook, I done had plenty of people steal my actual content. And guess what? I never said nothing. It was the people on my friends list that was tagging me into stuff like, hey, man, didn't you say this? So like, I'm the type of, I'm like, man, hey, if he utilizing this to benefit himself, I was cool. It was other people bringing me into the mix. Like, hey, you stole this from such and such. Like, I never had to say nothing. And that's how that energy works. That's how that universe works. So it was people that was out here like letting dude know, like, hey, man, such and such said it. So I ain't even have to do nothing. So I ain't have to waste my time making statuses and videos about people stealing my stuff. Like people did that type of stuff for me. So I was able to move on in my life, man, and continue on. Yeah, sweet potatoes are good to eat. And then even white potatoes, again, not fried and all that good stuff, but they can help you gain as well, along with the proper workout routine. So you got to do some strength training. Got to lift heavy weights, bunch of reps. If you are trying to gain on that vegan lifestyle, that's any lifestyle, really. You got to hit them weights hard. Oh, shine down, most definitely. Most definitely. If they don't reciprocate that energy, man, then you got to reevaluate the connection or the friendship or whatever it is. You got to reevaluate it. If they don't reciprocate that, that's a law. Ancestors, reciprocity, that's a law. It's a universal law. So like if the people that you fooling with, they not operating under that law, you gotta get rid of them. Oh, Benjamin, I study all type of cult knowledge. I study all type of cult knowledge, man. I study all of that. Matter of fact, I got some a few books on that type of information that y'all might want to look into. The Stellar Man, that's a deep book. And then The Secret Science by John Baines. Both of these books are by John Baines. Those books. The Hermetic Philosophy. So they deal with like Hermeticism. Those books are nice. So y'all look up both of those books. The Stellar Man and The Secret Science by John Baines. Those are some powerful books. $12.28 the great. That's basically what I was alluding to. So whatever your calories are, that's basically just telling you to increase your calories, telling you to double up everything. That's basically just saying increase the calories. So that's essentially what I was saying. So you just basically upping your calories, and I say by like 500. But if you don't count calories, then that's a good way to increase your calories, just by doubling up everything that you normally would eat. So that'd be a good way if you don't count calories. Audio TV, I used to see Ego and Brother Polite. Well, I mean, when I say used to see, because I don't really keep up with dude like that these days. But I used to see a lot of Ego and Brother Polite. Again, like once brothers started getting on that ego trip, I started distancing myself from them. Like a lot of the OGs from the past, they didn't have this ego problem. And it wasn't as prominent, it wasn't as bad. Like Dr. Ben, John Henry Clark. Like these dudes, it really wasn't no ego problem. Like Amos Wilson, like it wasn't ego. Thunder Scorpion, I can imagine. Yeah, Sean. Yeah, energy powerful, man. The mind is powerful. Dynasty, you will be surprised. Man, I can go back to my childhood, man. I done had a lot of situations where like some of the people that I consider like best friends just hated on your boy, like just straight jealous for no reason. Don't get me started like on playing sports when I was a child. That's when a lot of that stuff got exposed. Because I was a good basketball player back in the day, man. Just back when I was a child, man. So I had a lot of dudes that were close to me just hated on me for that. Like anything, like when it comes to men, a lot of men, man, like when you doing something, because we got that competitive nature, man, that competitiveness, man. So that's the problem. So when you start outdoing another dude, sometimes he don't like that. And a lot of times, especially me, because I was like the small guy. So when I'm out here outdoing the bigger dudes, like they didn't like that. So it was time to hate. Because you got to imagine too. So we out here, you playing basketball, you out here in the park, man. There's people watching. Like, you got the young girls, they watching and all this type of stuff. So you putting on the show. Meanwhile, ain't nobody paying attention to them. So hence now you have a problem. So when you start outshining some of these dudes can't handle it. Instead of giving them props, I'm more so the prop giver. I'm gonna give you props. If we playing basketball and you getting the best of me, I'm gonna give you props, and then I'm gonna up my game. So the next time I play you, you're not gonna do me the same way. I'm gonna learn from that experience. I'm not gonna hate on you. But I had a lot of experiences, man, in life where like other men straight up just hated on me. Or tried to move how I moved and stuff like that, man. Even when I like with my hair, like before I had actual locks, man, I had a different style. I don't know if you are familiar with Busta Rhymes, but the way Busta Rhymes had his hair, it was like braids in the front and then locks in the back. I had that style for the longest, and I was the only one with it. Man, I had got it, man, and people had saw the attention that style was getting, and they started getting the style. So I done had little situations like that. Dudes wasn't being original at all. They saw what was getting attention, and they went and they jocked it. So I was like, man, I didn't seen all that in my life. Oh yeah, Thunder Scorpion, that Secret Science is dope. My cousin what's crazy, my cousin that's a Mason put me on that book. Lindell, most definitely. If you doing what you need to do, no need to focus on what the next man is doing. That's how I live it. All right, Sean, you said you had a dream. And at 7, man, you still remember that? Now, how old are you? Sean, that could be, that could mean a lot, man. It depends on, and I basically, when it comes to interpreting dreams, I leave that to the person. So I got to ask you, how do you see the earth? What is the earth symbolic to you? What is a pearl symbolic to you? Oh, I do that all the time, yo. Pick up that bad energy as soon as you meet somebody. And sometimes I try not to go off of that energy. I try to build with the person to see if what I picked up on was an actual fact. So I try not to go off face value. But for the most part, when you pick up on that, it's an actual fact. It's an actual reality. But I try to still build with the person to see, all right, man, I'm feeling this type of way, but I could be wrong. Because sometimes you may could just be having a bad day, and anybody that you interact with making you feel some type of way negatively. So I'm like, something could be distorting this vibe right quick. So let me still try to chop it up with this individual. But then when I chop it up with you and then realize like, all right, nah, what I picked up on was like an actual fact, then I'm good. I got my confirmation. Audio TV, man, I'm gonna keep it real with you. I don't even like the red pill. I have not watched not one single video on any of that type of content to the point where I probably don't even know what you're talking about. I mean, I know of it, but I haven't done the knowledge to any of that because the moment I heard what it was about, I was like, I'm good. Whoa, dear. Hope everything good with the moms, yo. Peace. Oh, audio TV. That's normal. People hanging on to rejection. That's not. Yeah, I see that all the time. Sean, what voice did you hear? Because you know, at the end of the day, I'm gonna say that was your own voice that you heard. So that was you talking to you. That was definitely you talking to you. 1228 the great. I mean, I didn't have this conversation where I done told her like I'm not about to act like I'm the relationship expert because I got a lot of some of my flaws, man, are like anti-relationship. So it's a lot of stuff that I'm working on. Like I said, y'all hear me talk about being a loner, being an introvert and stuff like that. Those are not relationship friendly personalities, man. So I'm not the best one to talk to in regards to relationship advice because I got a lot of things in regards to relationships that I got to work on. So that's not necessarily my lane, but just studying self-development and getting the knowledge of self, I'm able to help people in that regard because a lot of the stuff that I face and deal with, I understand a lot of people deal with because like the introversion, man, is something that people don't understand how deep it really is. And then when you tag a relationship on with that, people don't understand that. Like me being in a relationship with anybody, it's like an adjustment period because I'm like, again, just being introverted. Communication ain't never been my strong point because I'm more so like I'm a real isolated and private person. Like I really like to move on my own time type deal, man. I just like to do my own thing. So it's an adjustment period. And a lot of people just don't understand introversion in regards to like relationships and stuff like that. Yeah, and then just being a loner, like man, like people just it's a lot of things that people don't understand. So my relationship views will be a lot different than most because like just because some of the flaws and traits that I have. And I don't really even see introversion as being a flaw for real. Because if anything, being introverted, it actually helps me like the paradox here, it actually helps a little bit with communication because for the simple fact that I don't, and it's odd enough that I'm doing videos, but it like again, it took me a lot of energy to start doing these videos. That's part of introversion. Like this is something I should have been doing, but I'm just now doing it because I had to muster up the energy to be able to verbally communicate for like a consistent period of time. But through being introverted, that helps me with communicating because I only speak when I really kind of feel like it. So when it's time for me to say something, I'm speaking with a purpose because I'm not about to just be out here talking a bunch of nonsense and gossiping because it's draining to me. So when I speak, I'm speaking with a purpose. I got something to say. So that's really the only time that I care to speak. And a lot of people don't understand. A lot of people say, oh, you being mean and antisocial. No, like I just don't care to speak. Like if I don't really have anything to say or add to the conversation. So a lot of times when people out here gossiping, like I literally have nothing to say because I don't really care to gossip. So I just choose not to say anything. So if that's antisocial, I'm good. But I don't see anything wrong with being antisocial to an extent. Like if y'all out here gossiping about people who haven't did anything to you, like, well, why do I need to jump into that conversation? Like that's just negative energy that I don't need to be a part of. If anything, it drains me that people are on that type of vibe. So I'm good. Oh, Adrian, the future of Black America. Like, what do you want me to talk? Like, I can talk. I can touch on that from a lot of different angles. But I feel like people got this stark view of it. Well, I don't have a stark view. I'm gonna go to the teachers of like Elijah Muhammad when they tell you that the white man's rule is running out. Like his time is running out. We about to take over, and they know that. I don't know if y'all saw the articles, but like 10, 12 years ago, they had these articles that say about 2050, which obviously this may not be actual fact. About 2050, the whole world will be brown. The original people. So they're pretty much wiping themselves out and things of that nature, which is why they're not a fan of like all the intermixing and stuff like that. They trying to preserve their bloodline. So this is stuff that they've been concerned with for the longest. So our future is always going to be great because they can't wipe us out. We don't have to be concerned about that. Now, the fact that the stuff that I get concerned about is us like waking up and then moving on that knowledge. Like when we come across that information, when we come across that enlightenment, then acting on that. So we keep coming across this information and we keep approaching things wrong. Like we keep running toward selections. Like, I'm going to vote for such and such. Like, nah, voting is not the answer. So like that part of Black America frustrates me. We keep relying on this system, the politics and all that, man, the educational system. Like that part of it, I don't like. Sean, like I said, that undescribable voice, that was you. You was talking to yourself. Yeah, opinionated introvert. That's a good one. Oh, Shane, when it comes to timing, I don't necessarily say anything is the wrong time or the right time. So I don't even utilize that language. I like everything happens in regard, even if I want to use that word, I'm gonna just say everything happens at the right time. But I don't necessarily like to say anything was like the wrong time. So it happened when it was supposed to happen. You met that person when you were supposed to meet that person. You just got to take the lesson from it. It was a reason why you met that person at the time that you met that person. You just got to extract that reason from it. It wasn't the wrong time. It was the right time. It was a lesson to be learned from that. And you got to learn what that lesson is or was. Audio TV, that's another thing that people don't understand about being introverted. Being introverted doesn't necessarily mean you don't speak, you're not social. It's conditional. Like you got people that say unconditional love. Being introverted is like you conditional in regards to being social. So it's conditions behind it. Some people can go any and everywhere and they just socialize. Not me. I got to be in a certain environment for me to feel comfortable to be social with a bunch of people. I'm not going to be social in every environment. It's not going to happen. Not going to happen. If I'm not a fan of the environment, you're going to be able to tell I'm not a fan of that environment because I'm not going to be interacting with people. 1228 the Great, the crazy thing about it is she kind of introvert as well. But I probably got her beat in regards to being introverted. Like I'm listen. You catch me in my zone, my introverted zone, man. I'm liable to say nothing. And then when I say that, a lot of people are like, oh, that's like think that you got a problem, think something is wrong. Like when I'm not saying anything, nothing is wrong. I just don't feel like speaking. Like nothing is wrong with me. I feel totally fine. I just don't feel like speaking. So that doesn't necessarily equate to a problem. And a lot of people don't understand that. Like sometimes I just don't feel like speaking. Oh yeah, man. Like the momentum of the world is chaotic. So if you coming across with that peaceful energy and that peaceful vibe, you going against the natural flow of today's time, which is of a chaotic and negative flow. So you going against the grain when you coming in peace, when you coming with positivity or optimism. So when you going against the grain, you're gonna get met with resistance. So that's why when you striving for peace, you always gonna get those situations, those negative situations that you're gonna encounter because you going against the grain. Anytime you go against the grain, you get resistance. So a lot of people don't understand, man, when they try to change their life around, why they get all these tribulations, these challenges, these trials. The reason why you're getting all those trials and those challenges and those obstacles is because you're going against the grain. The grain right now is not positive. It's negative. So when you positive, you're going against it. So here come all the resistance. So I know plenty of people that like I try to, every time I try to change the way that I'm eating, this happened, this happened, this happened. You're gonna get that every time. You're gonna get that every time because you're going against the norm. So you got to be able to weather the storm. Yeah, Lindell, most definitely. Politics killing us. Killing us. Proper education always corrects errors. That's what peace is. Audio TV, most definitely. If I'm chilling, man. Please don't disturb it. You know what I mean? Like I'm chilling. Yeah, Benjamin, introversion leads to introspection a lot. So I'm real in tune myself simply because I'm introverted, because I do a lot of introspection. So I analyze myself a lot. I analyze my surroundings a lot. That's why I'm able to kind of dissect people a lot, because instead of me socializing, like I'm paying attention to everything. I'm paying attention to how they moving because I'm not just caught up in this conversation. 1228 the great. Hey, that's cool. Sound like a decent dude. But that's I got a lot of those things going. I don't know if it's in my favor, but a lot of the unique I guess traits or whatever. Like I possess a lot of those joints. Like being introvert. A lot of the most intelligent minds, a lot of these people like socially awkward. That's me. A lot of them are like introverted. That's me. Then I'm left-handed on top of that. So it's a lot that comes with being left-handed that people talk about. So I got all that stuff going up for me in my favor. Left-handed, socially awkward, introvert. Montel, I mean, I haven't met anybody that described themselves as ambivert, but I think I've met a few. 1228 the Great. Yep, I've done a lot of knowledge to them African spiritual systems, and then the doggone tribe. I like the doggone tribe. And observing people is crucial. It's crucial. And what makes you consider yourself ambivert, Montel? Yeah, 1228 the Great. Most of them are spooky. You gotta find the right ones, but most of them are. But some of them just tie everything to like nature. Those are the ones that I can fool with and gravitate towards. But the doggone tribe, I like some of the stuff that they talk about. The doggone tribe, if y'all want to really do some not like the doggone tribe, let us know about white people, man. They let us know about the white folks. I think that book is called like The Pale Fox. Like the dog won't try to let us know. Oh yeah, 1228 the Great. Oh yeah, you talk. Yeah, when they start talking about the deities and stuff like that, no sir. I take other stuff from it. Like I said, I take the best parts from it. When they start talking like that, nah, we good. Yeah, I don't rock with nothing like that. So are you talking about in that aspect? Because I study a lot of like metaphysics, like religious systems and all that type of stuff. Yeah, you talking about that? Oh yeah, no, Montel. I was saying what makes you consider yourself to be both instead of just one? Audio TV, the colorism is huge. And I rapped that back in one of the last songs that I did way back in the day. I said dark skin versus light skin brothers don't like to be black. Like that was one of my lyrics. Like again, it goes back to Willie Lynch. Like we be focused on the wrong thing. Like it grinds my gears. I mean, man, it eats me alive when I get on like social media and I see somebody talking about light skin this, dark skin that. I cannot stand that. You will never hear me use any split like that. Never. Even if I had a preference, like I'm not about to get on social media and I'm not about to act like one tone is better than the other. If I have a preference, then that's just my preference. But again, I don't have to let the world know my preference by talking down on another group. Man, I just got distracted, y'all, real quick. Somebody talking crazy on the Facebook. Somebody talking crazy. Y'all know I had to snap out of that real quick. I was about to get ready to respond in a certain type of way. So I had to just snap out of something, man. See how I go? I just talked about that. When you spitting out the positivity, then you get met with resistance. Somebody just, I don't even know who this person is and just got up into my inbox on Facebook talking crazy. So you got to be mindful. You got to watch out for a lot of that nonsense, man. I don't know who this brother is. Don't even got a profile pic and talking crazy. So you got to watch out for stuff like that. Get that all the time, man. I don't take it lightly. So I don't like nobody talking crazy to me. Because I got people to protect, man. So I don't play around like that. Lindell, most definitely. Most definitely. Like again, profanity is something that I've made it like I look at this like a business, man. So I don't need to utilize that language to convey my point. And it's still gonna resonate. So I don't have to use profanity, man, to have a dialogue. I can go 2-3 hours without using profanity. That's real easy. James Brown, the advice in regards to applying what you learn, as soon as you come across information that resonates, meaning like as soon as you come across information that makes sense in regards to something that you know that you need to do it. Make a plan to do it. So if you come across some dietary information and you know you've been thinking about going plant-based for the longest, then you come across some information, you read a book on it. Then take everything that's in that book that you can implement, make a plan to implement it. So if you read that, you finished that book on a Wednesday, then make a plan for that next week to start implementing little strategies in that book. Yeah, Montel, I can feel that. If anything, I would say it's almost like body types. So I would say that we are you more introvert dominant or extrovert dominant. So I feel like it's hard to have that exact balance. So I feel like I'm way more toward the introvert end. But if you catch me in an environment, like if I'm talking about fitness or talking about some stuff where I'm comfortable in, then I may come out of the shell a little bit. And key word is may. Like if depending on how many people are in this environment, I still may not say nothing. So if it's like a smaller setting, then I'm about to build. But if it's too many people in there, man, I probably won't say much of anything if I'm not comfortable with the people that's in there. Now, if it's something that I set up and I'm kind of comfortable with the crowd, then I'm good. Oh, Sean, most definitely. It always come back to energy. Oh yeah, Lindell, most definitely. Most definitely. Sometimes that old you comes out want to come out sometimes, man. So you have to, because back in the day, man, we used to put on the gloves and we used to throw some hands and that's how we settled the differences. Nowadays, you gotta watch, brothers. Somebody went and pull out a gun or something on you. Gotta watch it. Yeah, 1228 the great. That's more so what it is. Like sometimes, yeah, sometimes I've tried to get out of my comfort zone. It can get rough though. Like I really got to prepare myself to get out of that comfort zone. But I've done it. But it's rare for me to get out of that social comfort zone. Yeah, Thunder Scorpion. I don't know what the brother is starving for, but I'm trying not to revert back to old tendencies. But it almost, yeah. Yeah, 1228 the great, most definitely. Starting a business, ironically enough, like of course, I gotta socialize there. But again, even the business, so I'm cool on that end because it's something that I'm like passionate about. Now, when I was working in corporate America, that was a little rough, getting out of that comfort zone, having to talk to these people about stuff I didn't care about. That was draining me. I'm not as drained now. 5 Bloom, what's going on? I'm gonna have to check that out. Audio TV, nope. I haven't heard any of his like content, but I might check it out a little bit so I can come up with a conclusion. But if making everything about money, then I'm kind of good. I'm kind of good on that. 1228 the great, most definitely. And the crazy thing about it, I got a whole degree in marketing. So and the crazy to show you how introverted I am, I did a lot of my marketing, social media, ads and stuff like that. Cause that was the way I got all of my people. But when it was time to get out and chop it up with the people, I was able to hold my own, get out of that comfort zone. Oh, it felt good leaving corporate America, and I vowed to never go back. That's how good it feels. Like I can create my own little schedule and whatnot, man. I'm operating on my own type of time, so that's how good it feels. That I'm not going back. I don't plan on going back to corporate America. It'll have to get crazy. I'm not going back though. Oh, audio TV, that's interesting. So your value, so okay, what you bring to the table financially is the only way that you can increase your value. That's the only determining factor for your value. That's interesting. That's very interesting because I definitely don't subscribe to anything like that. Thunder Scorpion, let me know how that goes for you. Beast reincarnated, that's a little simple, but sometimes I just really don't care to talk. Like that's the thing. I don't I don't really want to talk more. That's like the thing. I want to talk when I feel like talking, when I have something to say. But when I don't want to talk, I don't want to talk. And like when you an introvert, like a true introvert, when you don't want to talk, like you mean that. Like when you had that moment, I'm sure some of y'all can relate. When you really don't feel like talking, then it's going to be more so. Like you're gonna have these moments more so than like extroverts and all that. Like a lot of the extroverts, they had the moments where they don't want to talk when something happened in their life, like something bad and they had a bad day. For an introvert, it could be a normal day and I just don't feel like talking. And when I have that moment, like I really do not want to talk. Yeah, audio. I don't know too much about all that. Like I said, I might try to check out the way that I be getting down, man. If I'm watching something, because my time is valuable. So if I'm watching something for about 5 to 10 minutes, man, they start talking crazy, and I'm gonna have to go ahead and move on to something else. I'm gonna have to balance it out. I'm gonna feel like I just dumbed myself down. So I'll be having to balance out a lot of that type of stuff, man. If I'm watching something and they start talking crazy like that, then I'm gonna have to watch 10 minutes of something else. Yeah, Thunder Scorpion, it's a control factor. I mean, talking is not necessarily a positive or good. Just because you are more sociable, that don't necessarily make you better, doesn't make it right. It's just something that you are and something that you do. I'm with the Buddhists when they say eliminate the chatter and all that type of nonsense, man. Don't gossip. Speak with a purpose. Yeah, Bonafide Bloom, most definitely. I much rather struggle doing my own thing. Like this struggle is a lot more pleasing and a lot more rewarding because at the end of the day, I know it's gonna pay off. But I understand how business works. So it takes about 2 to 3 years, man, for your business to start generating profit. So I already know. So I'm headed down the right path, but you got to get started somewhere. Oh man, jobs was killing my creativity. I don't know how I did some of the stuff I did while working, man. My creativity was shot working on these jobs. Shot. I had no creativity. None. Like I just didn't have the energy to think creatively. That's another reason why I kind of stopped doing the music, man. I just didn't have the energy. Like I just didn't have that creative energy. I work 8, 9 hours and just be frustrated. And then like when it was time to think creatively, like I didn't want to, man. I just wanted to chill out and waste time, like man, because I had to deal with all the stresses of the day. So I really see how people just become like lazy when it comes to like getting overweight and stuff like that, man, because these jobs that tear you down, man. You'll be so drained when you get off these jobs. You don't want to do nothing. Now, I still kept up my workout regimen, but I can just see how that happens. Audio TV, I've heard something like that, man. See, what be happening with a lot of these content creators on YouTube, and I just vowed to never be that guy. Like, you're not about to really hear me coming on saying a lot of stuff like that. If I'm gonna say something as the gospel or as the truth, like, I'm gonna have some research behind it. I'm not about to start saying erroneous things like that. Everybody should be married by 23. Man, says who? So you're not about to be hearing me talk that crazy. If anything, man, I'm dealing solely with empowerment. Like I said, we are prophets, stuff like that, man. Just how to eat right, how to think right, how to develop better habits. That's all I'm concerned about. I'm not about to be having people feeling bad because they not married by the age of 23. So now I'm contributing to like low self-esteem. I'm destroying people. I don't need to do that. Like, that stuff is trash, man. But people be doing that for like clickbait, for views, for watch hours, man. They trying to monetize off of that, man. They just want to, that shock value. So they want to say things like that. Yeah, Montel, it kept coming. Like, I was able to write some books and all that. Like, but one of the reasons why, like, that's one of the reasons why I stopped selling the books that I wrote while I was working. I didn't feel like it was my best work, which it was still cool. A lot of people got inspired by the books, but I didn't feel like it was my best work because I made them under those conditions. So I'm gonna come back. That's why I'm starting over. So the next book that I put out is going to be way more powerful because I feel like I'm in a better space. 1228 the Great is possible to do both, but I don't recommend it because it's the laws of physics. Like, I'm going with the laws of physics here. Like, I'd rather focus on doing my own thing 100% of the time opposed to 50% of the time. Because if I'm only giving this side business or this business 50% of my time and effort and energy, then there's no way that it's going to be able to expand the way that I needed to expand. If I see myself as a business owner and an entrepreneur, then I need to go all in on that. Like the book says, focus on that one thing. Then I need to put all my eggs into that one basket in regards to like whatever that endeavor is. So to me, it's either you about to choose to be an entrepreneur, business owner, or whatever the case may be, or you about to work in corporate America. For me, it wasn't no do both. That's how I viewed it. That's how I was able to leave it because I had set it up in my mind to where it's like, I'm not doing both. I'm not doing it. So I had to create that type of condition in my mind to free me from corporate America. Because if I wouldn't have, I would have kept trying to do both, and then I would have ended up back in corporate America or staying in corporate America longer than I needed to. And my business wouldn't have ever been able to grow the way that it's growing now. So always work at your own pace. It's like track. They tell you to never try to run another person's race. If somebody been running for 20 years and you just started running yesterday, you don't try to keep up with that person. You don't try to keep up with that person. You run your own race. So I always encourage that. Most definitely, Sean. I appreciate you. Yeah, audio. I ain't got time for that, man. A lot of these people, man, it's just sad, man. A lot of them, honestly, to me, a lot of these people, content creators, are corny. Like, seriously. Which is another reason why I just procrastinate, man. Because I'm just like, man, I don't want to be that corny dude. Thunder Scorpion, most definitely, man. Peace to you. Enjoy the rest of this Saturday. But a lot of these content creators, man, stuff start getting corny, and I don't like corny, especially corny dudes, man. I don't like all that corny content, man. That's why y'all see a lot of soloness from this. Y'all don't see me having a lot of people on this. Like, it's just me, and I ain't got time to be entertaining a lot of perspectives, man. That pretty much corny. Nah, man, I don't care to argue with them. If you can't see why it's corny to say people should be married by 23, then I don't want to talk to you. So I don't want to hear you express why you feel that way. I don't even care. There's nothing you can say to me to change my perspective on that. Like that's just that's a corny way of viewing that. Oh, you got to make over 10K to have a high value. Like corny. Like just shut up, bro. Like that's just at the end of the day, you gonna put me to sleep talking. I'm gonna go to sleep. 1228 the great. It's crazy because I'm probably the wrong time to get. I'm probably the wrong person to get that advice to because I pretty much went into my business full time at a time where I probably shouldn't have. Whole pandemic hit. I didn't make sure I had 3 to 6 months worth of savings. Like I didn't make sure my side hustle income exceeded my main income. Like I didn't do none of that. I didn't go by the book. All it was for me was I felt like it was time, and I just moved on that because I trust myself. It was time for me to bet on myself. So at the end of the day, I know that I'm a good trainer. I know that I'm good at what I do. And this opportunity presented itself. So when you get some opportunities and stuff start lining up in your favor in regards to your business, make the jump. Make the jump. So I was able to find a space. Like I was able to get time off from the bank with this pandemic. So everything just was lining up in my favor. That was saying, man, it's time for you to do your own thing. So I went off of that. So I didn't necessarily do everything correct by the book like they say you should. It was almost impulsive. Like this pandemic just made me view things in another light. So I was like, man, the way furloughing people, like people losing their jobs, I was like, man, I got to take some control. Bonafide, I despise when people say get a real job. It's almost like when you on YouTube and they be like, that ain't a real job, and you probably making more than they making and stuff like that. So the term real job is hilarious. And Amber, they really do contradict themselves. That's why I'm always mindful of what I say. Because the last thing I want to do is put out information and I don't live it. So that's why a lot of my content revolves around stuff that I live. There's no way for me to contradict that. So that's why I said I'm not one to really talk about relationships because if I started talking about relationships and I really made everything peaches and cream, then I would be a contradiction. Like if I talked about relationships, it wouldn't be all positive. So I'm gonna give people the real rap behind that type of stuff, man, because that's how I live, man. I'm by far nowhere near perfect, and I don't give off that vibe as if I am. Oh, Bonafide, that's crazy. He says you need to get out. It's not normal to be a homebody, they say. Yeah, Greg Circle, that narcissist is crazy because they definitely are that. And that's even outside of relationship, even the dudes that the conscious community. A lot of them, same way. So that type of stuff, man, I ain't never been that type of dude. Never been that type of person. Like it's just not me. So I'm not one of those ones. It's hard for me to create stuff for like clickbait and all that, man. If anything, like I do have a lot of controversial opinions and facts that I bring to the table, man. But as far as me just blatantly saying some just garbage, I can't do that. Yeah, Montel, I actually had considered that at a point. But I feel like I'm teaching right now, as we call ourselves poor righteous teachers. I feel like that's what I'm doing. 1228 the greatest. Sound like we're on that same vibe. Audio TV, I'm gonna give you the honest answer. My honest answer is no, simply because I be so busy. Like I just no. I'm saying I'm good with what I got, and I'm more focused on just building. So nah, like I don't that type of stuff don't concern me. I don't have to act on anything because I don't really necessarily have it because I'm so focused on building. Oh, Shane, do it. It's the right now is the time. Bonafide, welcome to my life. It finally people are starting to understand that, like, I'm just gonna move different. It's almost like when people tell the vegan to eat real food. Like when you eating fruits and vegetables and they tell you to eat real food. I look at that the real job stuff like that. Like, oh yeah, I make money online. That ain't no real job. It's like, yeah, it is. Just as real as what you do. Donna C, man, I've heard that a lot. Like my nephew at a point, he it was like maybe 2 or 3 years ago. He wanted to get like a webcam because he said he wanted to start a YouTube page. And a lot of people was just like, oh man, it ain't no, like, why he want to do this YouTube, this, that, and the third. They was like criticizing. I stepped in, I said, man, that dude can end up making more money off of YouTube. If he find the right niche, he can make more money off of YouTube than all of us combined in this house make. So I'm like, y'all might want to invest in that for him. Yeah, I think it's a lot of ignorance behind it, a lot of insecurities behind it. Patrick, what's going on? Sean Dow, man, just hit me up on Instagram anytime, man. I'll be chopping it up with people all the time on Instagram, man. You could just send me that DM and we can chop it up. 1228 the great. Ain't no really almost ain't no such thing. All you got is the now. All you got is the present. Be mindful of the present. Once I started studying Buddhism, man, I came to that conclusion. Just being mindful of the present. The next 30 minutes is not promised to you. Anything can happen, yo. So always live for the now. And that's when I started to make my moves. When I realized that, I'm like, yo, like this next 30, your life can change in a matter of seconds. Matter of fact, that's all it takes. Matter of seconds. So it's best to just live for the now. So Amber, that's crazy. Because Amber is crazy. Me and you are the same age. And I've actually heard that from people who watch those channels. And I'm like, yo, my first line of advice was like, the first question I would say, well, why are you watching it? The second thing I would say, stop watching that, because that's nonsense, it's garbage. Because like I say, be mindful of what you consume. Like that's something that you consume it. That's food. And that's going to affect you. So if you keep consuming that food, it's going to have you feeling some type of way about yourself. That's why I don't watch the news. That's why I don't watch a lot of the news. Because again, that's food that I'm consuming, and that news gonna have me feeling some type of way, and more than likely it's gonna be a negative feeling. I control my news. I keep my news positive. I keep my news powerful, empowering. So I'm not about to go out and watch a bunch of videos where they tearing my self-esteem up. They telling me, if you don't have kids by 30, then you this, that, and the third. Like, man, I ain't about to pay attention to nothing like that, man. I'm moving on. I'm moving on a time that's comfortable for me. And it's perfect for me. So I'm not about to listen to anybody that's about to have me feeling bad for moving the way that I want to move. Like, come on, I ain't got time for that. Yeah, Bonafide. Yep, the same type of people. 1228 degree. Yeah, I don't. Hey, eliminate or delete tomorrow and then the next hour. Like you don't know what's gonna happen within the next hour. So always focus on the here and now. Oh, Shane, take it easy out here. Tell the moms peace. Yeah, audio too. What they say, misery loves company. A lot of people don't live. A lot of them cats don't live what they teach. So that's interesting in and of itself. Appreciate that, Patrick. 1228 the great. Like I said, hey, take a second to die. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. Yeah, man. Yeah. Matter of fact, that's where it came from. Pretty much my parents agreed, like, get that real job. And I'm just like, what is a real job? 1228 the Great. You got it. I'm in the same boat. I'm about to be 30 in November, and that's pretty much when it's time to start having the kids for me, man. I done seen that, so ain't nobody finna make me feel bad for one. People talking about, oh, you know, when your kid get this, you're gonna be this age. I'm like, man, y'all talk. Look who you talking to. I'm gonna be 80, and I'm gonna look like I'm 20, because I take care of myself, so I'm not worried about that. And then a lot of these people, they having kids for selfish reasons, because they want the kids out of their life by a certain age. So you bringing a child into this world under bad circumstances simply because you're trying to get it over with, get it out the way type deal. So I ain't want to necessarily operate like that. And again, I'm not worried about aging and stuff like that. Long as I set my seed up to take over the throne when I'm not here, I'm good. I've done my job. I'm satisfied. But again, man, I'm living well into the hundreds, man, and I'm gonna be 100. I'll move into 20-year-olds, so I'm good. I ain't worried about that. So people be worried about the wrong things. I'm not worried about that at all. I ain't worried about hitting 50, hitting 60, and breaking down. And I'm gonna be just getting started. So a lot of people got all these theories out here, man. I don't got time. I don't entertain a lot of that talk, man. If you ain't uplifting me, then I'm not entertaining you. I'm not tuning in to you. I'm not tapping into you. And a lot of these channels, man, that's what, man, when people ask me who I listen to, but man, I don't listen to nobody really, because it's just, at the end of the day, it's always gonna be that person gonna always say something that I don't necessarily fool with. And once they start doing that, man, it's just like I gotta tune out. And it's oddly enough, when the topic of babies come up, there goes that content. There goes that comment. I've been talking this whole time. When that word comes up, I think she got something that go off on her phone when that word is mentioned. She got an alert. It's a notification. When people start talking about kids, babies, or whatever, she get a ding or something. I kid you not. We in 2 hours in. I just mentioned that. And there we go. Oh yeah, audio TV. Another thing, people talk about working just to have the benefits, as if it's not really simple to get the same benefits being self-employed, being an entrepreneur. So that's another reason I heard people, I had to go back to work to get the benefits. I'm like, yo, like, it's real easy to get these benefits as a self-employed or as an entrepreneur. Then when you start studying these wealth books, you understand that the system rewards business owners. So you get rewarded for owning the business, especially when it comes to taxes. So I'm like, why do y'all think it's pleasing to work for a job? Like, it's better to actually own your own thing. You get way more benefits from the system. Your man's Donald Trump. Everybody hate, but your man's know that. He took advantage of that. Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Poor Dad, he tells you that. He tells you the system benefits the owner, the business owners, the investors. The system makes, like, the rules of the system, it favors them. So why do you think you got to go to work? That system doesn't favor you. Man, it's a lot of people that be on YouTube, man, that be creating these rules that I really never heard about until now. Audio TV, that's crazy. Guaranteed check, boy, that's funny. $12.28 the Great said the godparent. Zucko, see, that's the way that you go. But of course, like I said, that's going against the grain. So therefore, you get all this criticism, get all this backlash. So that's all that is. Yeah, Bonafide. Yeah, we gotta aim higher. So it's just like, yeah, just get the cash. Like, what's to stop me from just getting the cash to be able to afford everything? But again, I can get all this same stuff that you can get by being employed. I can get this on my own. So it's nothing that you can get on this job that I can't get by being self-employed. I mean, it's somebody that owns your job. You know, it's somebody that's the head of that. They own that, and they not worried about not having insurance and stuff like that. Like they are covered, and you working for them. Zucko, most definitely. It's most definitely like I said. I broke down a percentage base. It's a lot of people that won't be on that same frequency or that same vibe as you. A lot of people, more than likely, most people. When you on a certain type of frequency, most people you interact with won't be on that same vibe. So a lot of times, man, you just gotta learn how to communicate to these people, and then you gotta kind of bring them to where you at. I don't necessarily believe in dumbing myself down 100%. I may dumb myself down to make a certain point, but then I'm gonna bring you to that level if I feel like I'm on a certain level. I'm gonna make sure you get on that level with me. I'm not about to insult you like that. If I was able to get on this level, then I believe that you can. I just got to speak in a certain way that you understand it first. So I got to make analogies and things like that. But if I'm able to get to this level, then you are too. So I'm going to make sure that you get on that level with me. So I'm going to make sure the understanding is understood. Yeah, just like they think the real food is meat. They think their real job is working for somebody else, then collecting the Social Security and all that. And they think that that's life. That's not life. The people that own these corporations will tell you that that's not life. Audio TV, most definitely. They definitely encourage men to be out here and catching a lot of bodies. And that's not something I've never really promoted that. Never really encouraged that. Our temples are just as sacred as a woman's temple. When it comes to that exchange. So you shouldn't be out here catching all these bodies and then bragging about it. Nah, that ain't nothing to brag about. Oh yeah, most definitely, Sean. Though they definitely over here doing the same thing. 1228 the great, you got it. Like I'm on that same vibe. That's like my next step, man. Then I'm getting back into like investing and stuff. So I'm definitely on it. Oh, Sean, I can definitely see that. Yeah, land is crucial. I was actually just put on to that, man. Having land is crucial. Having land is very crucial. Then that way you can build whatever you want to build on that land. So having land is crucial, and there's actually a lot of cheap land out here. Audio TV, that's some of the worst advice I've ever heard. But I've heard stuff like that before, but that advice is garbage. Yeah, Sean, growing your own food. That's definitely a long-term goal for me. But yeah, audio TV, that advice is 1,000,000% garbage. Like if somebody said that to me in my face and was serious, I would just walk out of the room, or wherever we was at, I just walk out and leave. Like once I understood that the person seriously meant that, like I'm gone. Like that, I mean, I'm still that's terrible, man. There's people actually out here giving that advice. And then there's actually not only is it people out here giving that advice, but then it's people that actually receive that advice and they actually subscribe to that. Like people follow that advice. Like, yeah, that's right. So you got a bunch of people that'll jump on your head for actually saying that that's not good advice. Like, don't come around me talking about that, man. Don't do that. But yo, this been a fantastic live stream. I actually went live a lot longer than I planned to, man. We had like 2 hours, 21 minutes. That's how I tend to get, man. Just talking about being introverted. I tend to start spazzing out on certain content. This was one of them days. Got the spazzing out, start talking about a bunch of everything, but it's cool because we can do that because we versatile. We can talk about any and everything because I study life around me, as I've said. So nothing is off limits when I get the building on anything. But with that being said, man, I gotta get my grub on and whatnot, man. So I got some things I gotta do on this fabulous Saturday, man. So I'ma go ahead. I'ma log on out of here, man. Y'all have a peaceful Saturday evening. Y'all have a peaceful Sunday, and I'm gonna see you all Monday, probably around 3 o'clock. We're gonna do some more building on a positive, destroying the negative, man. Y'all take it easy. Enjoy the rest of this weekend, y'all. I'm out. Peace.